Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to be unpacking the hidden pillars of weight loss. Look, we're on a mission today to uncover the physiological secrets of weight loss that go way, way beyond just restrictive dieting and endless cardio. Seriously, if you've ever felt like you're doing absolutely everything right with your meals, but the scale just flat out refuses to budge, you're in the right place. We're going to bypass all the noisy fad diets and really get under the hood of how our bodies actually operate. So we're kicking things off with a question that kind of flips the traditional fitness narrative on its head. How does stress and sleep quality impact my weight loss? I mean, we've all heard the classic eat less, move more advice, right? But what if I told you that your relentless hustle and your lack of sleep are literally actively sabotaging your body's ability to burn fat? It's beyond frustrating to put in the grueling work at the gym only to have your own biology fight back. So today, we're validating those frustrations. Because as you'll see, weight loss is deeply, fundamentally intertwined with how you rest and how you process the daily pressures of life. Okay, let's dive right into this. Our source material highlights what it calls the 4 true pillars of healthy weight loss. We've got diet, exercise, proper sleep, and stress management. Now, those first two, incredibly obvious. There's an entire multi-billion-dollar industry built on telling you exactly what to eat and how to sweat. But we're going to breeze past those today to focus on the real game changers, the hidden multipliers of sleep and stress. You see, if you're struggling to get 8 hours of sleep, or if you're just feeling constantly overwhelmed, it usually means your underlying time management needs a serious overhaul. And as we're about to explore, getting a grip on your schedule is actually a scientifically proven weight loss tool. But before we get to those hidden multipliers, we need to lay down a quick biological foundation. Just think of your body like a bank account. On the income side, you've got the calories you take in from food and drinks. On the expense side, you've got the calories you burn off, the energy your body actually uses. So if you want your bank balance to go up, or in this case, if you gain weight, your income is higher than your expenses. Your body takes those extra calories, converts them into fat, and stores them away. On the flip side, if you want to lose weight, your expenses absolutely have to outpace your income. It's the fundamental law of the calorie deficit. Pretty straightforward, right? But how exactly are we spending those calories? Well, let's take a look at your body's internal engine, your basal metabolic rate, or BMR. This is literally the energy your body burns just to keep you alive, even if you are laying perfectly still in bed. Making your heart beat, keeping your lungs breathing, digesting that lunch you just ate, all of that requires energy. You can kind of think of BMR as your body's automated, built-in compound interest. It's burning calories entirely in the background. Now, it's a highly personalized number based on your height, weight, muscle mass, and age, but the key takeaway here is that it's always working even when you aren't. Now check out this number right here, 400. Because your BMR is constantly running all those background processes, you burn an average of 400 calories just by getting an 8-hour night of sleep. Let that sink in for a second. You don't have to be sweating on a treadmill to burn energy. By simply resting and letting your body recover the way it's supposed to, you're actively participating in the calorie burning process. That is wild, right? This is exactly why treating sleep as some sort of optional afterthought is a massive mistake if you're serious about your weight. Sleep is not just inactivity. It's a highly active, totally critical physiological process. And to really grasp why trying to speed up this process by starving yourself is a terrible idea, look at this energy breakdown. A massive 20% of your body's entire energy usage gets hogged by one single organ, your brain. Carbohydrates and the energy we get from our food are the literal fuel for your mind. So if you dramatically slash your calories way below your basal metabolic rate to try and drop pounds fast, you are effectively starving your brain of its primary fuel source. And let me tell you, when the brain doesn't get its 20% cut, things go south really fast. This is why those extreme starvation diets are biologically doomed right out of the gate. Because when you cross that line and start eating below your BMR, your body hits the panic button. Your hormones get completely out of whack. You're hit with severe fatigue, your mood absolutely tanks into deep irritability, and eventually, your body's self-control just breaks down entirely. And that leads straight to uncontrollable binging. Listen, if you've ever felt guilty because you couldn't stick to a super strict diet and ended up binging, you need to let that guilt go right now. Seriously, let it go. It wasn't a lack of willpower. It was your brain taking drastic biological measures to survive because you weren't feeding it the basic energy it required. Which brings us to a huge cultural roadblock we all face. We are constantly bombarded with toxic hustle culture advice. You know the drill. Waking up to 5 a.m. alarms, grinding through 12-hour workdays, living in a perpetual state of high stress. But our sources are completely against this approach. We really have to contrast that lifestyle with actual biological reality. True, healthy weight loss requires 7 to 9 hours of sleep. It requires prioritizing stress-free time management, and it requires balanced hormones. Good time management isn't just about squeezing more work into your day, it's a protective shield for your BMR and your waistline. The endless grind might look cool on social media, but running on iced coffee and 4 hours of sleep isn't a badge of honor, guys. It's a metabolic disaster. Let's break down exactly how that grind sabotages you biologically. It's a domino effect we can call the cortisol cascade. Step 1, your stress goes up, maybe from a chaotic lifestyle or poor time management. Step 2 immediately kicks in, your body's levels of cortisol, which is a major stress hormone, spike. Then comes step 3, and this is the real kicker. That cortisol spike actually drops your metabolism. It literally slows down your body's ability to burn energy. And finally, step 4, it cranks up your physiological cravings for fat and sugar. Basically, stress acts like an unfair, invisible tax on your metabolism. You could be eating a perfect diet, but if your cortisol is through the roof, your body is biologically fighting to store fat, not lose it.
So, what do we do about it? The answer is building a routine around daily holistic goals. Now, obviously, what's on your plate matters for sure. You want to aim for high satiety foods. Think complex carbs, proteins, and fibers that fill you up without packing in excessive calories. But managing your mind, that's equally vital. You absolutely must protect that 7 to 9 hour sleep window so your body can burn those 400 resting calories and keep your brain happy. And you have to actively manage your stress, whether that's meditation, playing a sport, or just logging off and spending real-world time with friends and family. Bringing that cortisol down is a completely non-negotiable part of the whole weight loss equation.
Which leaves us with this one final, incredibly important question. How will you adjust your schedule tonight to improve your BMR tomorrow? Knowing what we've unpacked today about the massive role that sleep and stress play in regulating your metabolism and how they trigger those intense cortisol-driven sugar cravings, it's really time to ditch the endless hustle. So are you going to prioritize that extra hour of sleep tonight instead of doom scrolling? Will you carve out just 10 minutes for some stress relief to keep those hormones in check? Remember, true healthy weight loss is all about working with your biology, not fighting against it. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I seriously challenge you to make those schedule adjustments tonight. See you next time.